Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Payoff Pitch presented by Fantasy Phenom. I'm Kyle. That's Mike. Back to recap a beautiful Friday and look forward to a 15-game, 2-game early, 13-game main Saturday.
Yeah, what a day. It really was a great day in DFS, great day in baseball. I'm sure if you watched this show or listened to it, you had a great day. What can we say? We had some pretty fire calls last night.
Facts. And you know what? Before we even do that, before I even give myself a pat on the back, or you, let me give some props real quick. So, Marcus in the chat, right? He's in the Phenom community every day.
Mm-hmm.
I vividly remember him saying in the YouTube chat last night, do not play Ervin Santana at home. It's a thing. Like, don't do it. I made a turbo lineup in 5 minutes. I literally, because obviously I was knocking down balls all day. That was fun as shit, by the way. And so I'm like, all right, I'm making a lineup, and I threw Anibal Sanchez just to not play Santana and Ian Kennedy, who was almost 100% owned, so it didn't hurt me. Anibal Sanchez had like 12 points, which was fine, right? But Ervin Santana finished with negative. And everybody in the GPP, it was a 27-man GPP, everybody but me had Ervin Santana. And all because of Marcus saying don't play him at home. I didn't do any research. I looked at the sheets and I was like, all right, I'm going to stack Pittsburgh and Colorado, just stack the game, and I'm going to throw these two pitchers, and I threw Anibal just because not playing Sanchez. So he is literally the reason I took down that GPP today, just from the Anibal Sanchez, or just from not playing Santana.
Yeah, Marcus was like alive in your subconscious as you're building your quick lineup in the midst of your day.
Yep.
It's pretty awesome.
And then on the main, to make it even better, I'm cashing out, or I already did. I'm gonna win some 3-man tourneys, and I'm gonna cash in this GPP. I was talking to one of the guys, Galen, right, who's a regular listener of the show. He messages me a lot, and he's like, you know, bro, I think I'm gonna throw Mike Fiers. And I wasn't really looking at him too much. Like, we talked about him last night, talked about maybe some regression coming in the negative direction. And I was like, I can get up to Stanton if I play Fiers. And so I did. So shout out to him. He put me on Mike Fiers when I wasn't going to play him. And I'm cashing and I'm winning those 3-man contests because of that differentiation as well. He was like 6% owned. So...
Yeah.
Literally, the community is the reason I'm cashing today with very little research. I scanned the sheets, found my stacks, and then the community put me on all my pitchers and plays.
And I guarantee you are not the only one that's ever said that. I mean, it's just a testament. If you are in a community of people that play DFS every day and talk about it every day, and you are active in it, I mean, there's no way that could possibly be a negative. So, you know, shout out to the Phenoms once again.
Facts. 2 other guys real quick.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
His river name is Famous Phi. I think his name is Joshua. Yeah, Joshua Phi. He messages me today, right? And he's like, bro, I just want to say I appreciate all the work you guys did putting this community together. He said, I work a lot, and I didn't have time to look at anything the other day, but I looked in the chat real quick, and I saw who the guys were on. And I literally played guys that were being mentioned, and I turned $30 into $200. Bet that was
so
awesome.
Great to hear.
And then Dan again, I posted his line on his result on Twitter again. This dude won another arcade mode tonight, $135, and he now has his own chat in the River Group, the Phenom Arcade team. And we have guys signing up on DK just to play arcade because Dan has been killing it every single night.
It seems he has certainly found his groove, and I mean that is awesome. I mean, people will flock to it, so it's great that chat is just as lit as the MLB chat anymore. So
yeah, dude. So,
but I mean, we preached last night, I think, throughout the whole show about that level of mid-range, the upper mid-range pitchers, and we talked about Fiers and Nola, and we mentioned guys. Who else did we mention in there?
Well, Matt's, who didn't do
Matz
great.
and Kennedy didn't really do great, but We talked about how we felt that was kind of the place to look on this slate so you could get to your bats. And I don't know, that definitely was the way to win today.
If you went mid-tier and faded those aces, Mike Fiers, Aaron Nola both outscored Chris Sale for incredible savings. Max Scherzer got blown up. I don't even think he got 10 points on DK. Gave up 3 straight home runs to open the game. I think he gave up a total of 5 home runs. Shark got blown up.
We talked about it, how that was coming.
Yep. In Arizona, terrible matchup. We hated it. Shark sucked. Cahill sucked. We were on Cahill a little bit. Darvish was a guy that balled out, so let's actually look at the top pitchers.
Yeah.
Mike Fiers, speaking of that,
well.
55 FanDuel points tied with Aaron Nola. These two legit had the same exact stat line.
Yep.
Him and Nola. We just gave the edge to Mike Fiers because he was Fire, and he had a little more value for his price. So, awesome there. Yu Darvish came in third in value, but I believe the most points on this slate with 32.4. Chris Sale not far behind at 31.9. Oh, he ended up actually having more than Fiers and Nola. Damn, I didn't realize that. I thought he last time I saw was at like 27, but I didn't account for the win. And then Urena.
Just by a little bit. I just felt like those guys didn't deserve to be there because you could have got the same value from Nola and Fiers for not half the cost of Chris Sale, but
just about
damn near close, So we're talking about the best plays of the day. Chris Sale deserved to be up there, for what he did, but
for the price savings, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jose Urena, dude, he made it past the 6th inning.
Yeah, he pitched 6 innings today.
Didn't he go? I think he went
going
7.
Forward.
I think he went 7.
No, he pitched 6.
They pulled him. They actually let him hit in the bottom of the 6th inning. And so I thought he was going back out for the top of the 7th. I didn't.
Yeah, I'm seeing 6 innings. I mean, he's just been very solid, man. Limiting hard contact.
He's not a guy to
definitely wasn't an easy matchup. Yeah, exactly. And if he's going to be 5K, he's got to be in play.
Marcus says Aaron Nola.
Which was today.
Marcus says Aaron Nola said SP2. He said I ain't no SP2. I'm an SP1.
He is.
He really is. I mean, man. He's having an amazing season.
Coming into his own.
Yeah. And then our king of the diamond is Edwin Encarnacion. 2 Indians make this list with Encarnacion and Abraham Almonte. Ah, man. What did we say last night? Indians are a sneaky stack. They've been underperforming versus a right-hander. They kill him at home. And I didn't play him, of course. But they ended up putting up, 13 runs? I think it was the most on... No, the Pirates, I think, scored 14.
No, they scored 12. So, 13 was the most, man.
There you go.
And, we talked about... who did they play today? Oh, man.
Why am I blanking, too?
Guy who's been really bad.
They played Toronto, Marco Estrada.
Estrada, that's him. That guy, man, he is just continuing...
Downward spiral.
To lose ground, yeah. Downward spiral, for sure.
Yo, Rhino DFS is in the spot. What's up, Rudy?
What's up? So, and then we talked about Arizona with A.J. Pollock leading off. I mean, Scherzer Scherzer has the second highest fly ball rate in the major leagues.
Yeah, he's extremely home run prone. That's his thing. But he usually doesn't give up 4 home runs, like 3 home runs. You know what I mean? Like he's known for giving up the occasional home run, but he gets 13 strikeouts to make up for it. But he just got lit the fuck up. I think he had 40 pitches through 1 inning.
I mean, it's hard to come back from that. You give up 3 home runs. I mean, your psyche is done. So, especially in that ballpark.
Yep.
So A.J. Pollock back in there. Victor Martinez, you look at his batted ball profile, it suggests some regression. So maybe we're seeing a hot streak coming from him. Regression working its way out. Something worth noting. Almonte was that punt of the day. I think he was like minimum salary on FanDuel.
Yep.
Or close to it.
And then not expensive on DK at all either. 20 times value almost.
Yeah, Conforto with 2 home runs. So he stays a fixture in that Mets lineup.
If only Mats could have got the win. All right, so real quick, I just want to highlight something. So on this on this screen here, you will see a new tab. I know I'm always adding new shit to the sheets, but I'm just trying to make it easier. So you guys know that the team splits we show on the games, right? Home versus left, home versus right, etc., etc. Well, I just took it, and these are the pitchers, and this is their opponent, and the opposing team's splits in their situations. You no longer have to figure out, are they home versus lefty? I did all that for you guys, and it automatically populates. So you can look here and go, and it's all color coded because I love colors. And so you can just look for red, and those are the teams with the worst split. So you can already look right here. Shaun Minaya, Ariel Miranda, Mets and Yankees have red splits in these situations. Padres as well, Texas. So you can kind of look, and then you can find the best splits, right? So Chris Tillman against Houston, you see the best team splits there. Chad Kuhl, Colorado. Tanner Roark, Arizona. So try to make it a little more simple for you guys. Hopefully that helps in finding pitchers to play.
Yeah, and just to kind of clarify just a little bit more, it's just organizing the team stats in a sense where you can easily differentiate them from other team stats.
Exactly. You don't have to go game by game now to see those splits.
Exactly.
So, all right. We got a 2-game early. San Diego and San Francisco, who are they still on extras right now?
I don't know. I do not know.
High-scoring game. Everyone expected that tonight.
Yeah, by the way, I mean, if you're a baseball fan staying up late, I mean, these late games are all pretty exciting. I think Gillespie hit that game-tying home run, pinch hit, right? Yep. Pinch hit, game-tying home run in the 9th in that game. Obviously, you talked about the Arizona game. That was pretty exciting. That was also a walk-off, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah.
All right, well, we have Luis Perdomo, who's not been good on the road or very good in his last couple starts, and then Matt Moore, who's just ass overall. Do we see another offensive outburst here?
I don't know. Day game after a late night game, I think it has to come into consideration here. Definitely going to do some different lineups. Perdomo, heavy ground ball pitcher. Doesn't really help him much in this park. But yeah, I think I would lean that way. I think I would rather stack against Matt Moore than Perdomo. However, but both these teams, God, they're so bad that when they play each other, they put up 20 runs.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I guess if you're to stack between this game and the Chicago-St. Louis game, I would stack the Giants game, which is odd to say, but
yeah, it is odd.
You could make a case for the Cubs as well, stacking Cubs, but I'd rather play against Matt Moore. So Padres would be my number 1 stack. Cubs would probably be number 2, but Adam Wainwright's been playing really well of late.
Yeah. I think the Cardinals really needed that game earlier today, to put up those runs. They really were kind of struggling, so it's good to see that.
And then if
this team does hit lefties pretty well, so.
Cubs?
I was saying the Cardinals.
Well, actually, so check this out. I don't know how, so I don't know how much you buy into these full splits, but away versus lefties is actually their worst split overall. Only a 297 WOBA. So, away versus lefties, they're bad.
Yeah, I guess I was just looking at the lineup down here. It doesn't seem too bad.
No, yeah. Overall versus lefties, they're good, but away, again, if you buy into the full splits, just, another tool to use. But I guess if you had to pitch someone tomorrow, I would go Lester.
Yeah, Lester's definitely the best pitcher on that 2-game slate. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm fading it on DraftKings though. I'm not gonna waste my time there.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, on to the main. So check this out. Super good strategy right here.
Super good.
Just stack Houston. Do that. Just stack Houston. Road Houston is good Houston. Chris Tillman is bad Chris Tillman, no matter situation. And
this Baltimore pitching staff is just no bueno.
Yeah. But I
think I venture to say that if you played Houston every day, you probably
be profitable.
Probably are making some money this year.
Yeah, shit. I'm gonna do it, man, because there's cheap. Marcus says no need for the rest of the show. Just stack Houston.
All right, guys. that was the payoff pitch for 722. I hope you guys stay cashing.
Right. Yeah, dude. Houston on the road, I love it, man. Anytime they play on the road and there are cheap pitching options, which there are today, I think you just stack Houston. And then what do you think about Collin McHugh? I'm sorry, not McHugh. McHugh. Making his first start of the year.
What was the difference there?
Well, McHugh sounded like the cue ball on pool.
McHugh or McHugh?
I hate you.
I mean, I'm serious. Is it McHugh or is it McHugh?
I think it's McHugh, not McHugh.
I got you. Okay, I totally understand now.
So, what are you thinking about pitching him against the atrocious Baltimore team right now? I mean, they strike out a ton. Mike Fiers had his way. McHugh's never been like a top option, but he's not been terrible. He's serviceable, and he's cheap. He
hasn't been in a while. I mean, he came in 2014. He had that really great year. The Astros thought had a standout. I think he's a pretty high draft pick as well, and then he's kind of tailed off since then. Making his first start of the season here, coming off I think it was elbow surgery. They did 3 rehab starts with him. He's only thrown 68 pitches in his final rehab start. That's kind of a red flag for me.
Yeah, I don't see upside here.
And I think he's a bit overpriced.
I don't see upside here. Probably going to be on a pitch count. If not a pitch count, he'll get a very tight leash. So if he gets into any trouble, I imagine they pull him, especially with the Houston bullpen. And like you said, regression, man. He's been good 2014, but from then on, not good. And elbow surgery, I hate playing guys off the DL with obviously an arm injury. Yeah, I agree. I think with that bullpen, there's no really need to push it. Exactly. Milwaukee and Philadelphia. Am I crazy for looking at Jeremy Hellickson as a stream option versus this high strikeout rate Brewers?
And it's been higher lately. They've struck out the most in the league over the last 2 weeks. I think Hellickson did just see Milwaukee in his last start. They ended up pulling him after the 5th inning. He was having a good start, too. Let me see. I got it down here. He had 6 Ks, 4 hits, and the only 2 runs he gave up was a home run to Brett Phillips. They pulled him at the 5th inning because of right calf tightness in his last start. Obviously, he's not missing any time, so I imagine there's no real concern there. But yeah, this is a plus strikeout matchup for him. Not that he's really a strikeout pitcher. He's got a 13%, something like that.
Been better over his last 3. He's got almost 21% over his last 3 starts, if you buy into that.
Right, but he's never been a strikeout pitcher. His career rate is 17%.
No, absolutely. That's the matchup, right?
Right, the matchup is a positive K matchup for him. If he can go out and pitch well against a team like Milwaukee that's struggling at his price point, I think definitely play.
Yep. And then I'm going to fade my boy Brent Suter tomorrow. Philadelphia at home versus lefties is a no bueno for a pitcher. A 201 ISO and a 15% home run per fly ball rate. Sorry, Brent. Can't throw you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not about it either. I just don't know, man. I just not really buying into it just yet.
I still like him, just not in this matchup. Yeah, there's cheaper options.
I mean, it is Philly. It's not like it's juggernaut of an opponent, but still.
No, but I like other options a little better. All right. Now, another crazy name for you. Detroit on the road versus righties. Not good. Kyle Gibson, not great, but limiting fly balls. Is he in play at all? At all?
I don't think so, man. I mean, has he had a good start all year? You know?
I think he's had not bad starts.
He's had 1 start where he got 20 DraftKings points.
There you go. Maybe tomorrow's the second.
It's just this is a guy that we have a large enough sample. He's got almost a 1.8 WHIP this season. He gives up a ton of home runs. He does pitch to ground balls, but
they're finding holes.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. With how hard as the Detroit hits the ball as a team, no, thank you.
I don't find myself playing Kyle Gibson, but I do like Minnesota. against Jordan Zimmerman.
I do as well. I think this is potential for a game stack in Minnesota tomorrow with these two pitchers on the mound. Let's see. I think Zimmerman's played Minnesota this year. He went 4 2/3, gave up 5 earned runs and 5 walks. So
not good.
He's obviously been a little bit better as of late. So
well, actually,
there's that to consider.
Well, yeah, but he's actually regressed. So he had that good stretch of 5 quality starts, and then he's kind of gone back to the bad Jordan Zimmerman.
Yeah, it's been up and down for him all year.
Yeah, so I like if Kenny's Vargas plays tomorrow, he's 3,500. Max Kepler's only 36 and 29 on both sides. Jason Castro's a cheap catcher. Eddie Rosario's dropping in price. Miguel Sano's only 46 and Brian Dozier 44. Is a little expensive, but there are cheap options on Minnesota.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, Zimmerman has been getting hit hard as well. So
Miami, Cincinnati. Robert Stevenson's going to make, I believe, a spot start. And then Chris O'Grady is going to make his second start. This game was a major letdown today. We thought it had game stack written all over it, and it ended up being a fucking pitcher's duel.
Yeah. Jose Urena, that's what he's pretty much good for at this point. Definitely don't want to stack against him in the near future. But, yeah, this could easily be a bullpen game. Stevenson, he is getting a second chance here. I was reading a little bit about him. A lot of talks here the second half. Them Cincinnati, bringing up pitchers, giving them chances here. But yeah, he had 6 starts in 2016. Same kind of deal. They tried to give him a shot at the major league level. Did not go well. He retooled his stuff, and he's been pitching really well in the minor leagues. And so with I think Adelman going down, or no, Feldman.
It was Feldman. Yeah, knee injury.
Yeah. He gets the call for this little second chance for him, and then O'Grady, similar scenario, but this will be his 3rd start, and he's been serviceable over the first 2.
Oh, it's his 3rd start.
So maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I stack Cincinnati tomorrow. I would stack Miami over Cincy. I think Giancarlo Stanton. I don't think he's all of a sudden cooled off, so you can still look there. Still like Justin Bohr. No Martin Prado. This is going to be Miguel Rojas. Is that his name, Miguel Rojas?
I think so.
Yeah. He did well. I punted him today. He actually did okay. But yeah, I do like Miami again tomorrow. I can go right back there.
Yeah, this will be another pitcher's tool. Wait and see.
All right, so I'm going back to the Mets and Oakland game for my SP1 tomorrow. And it's going to be Shaun Minaya.
Yep, I think he's probably the best pitcher for his price on this entire slate. Comes in on DraftKings. What is he on FanDuel?
86.
Yeah. On DraftKings, he comes in at
66.
$6,600.
Way underpriced.
Yeah. Extremely underpriced. He has a quality start in 9 of his last 10 games. 7+ Ks in over half of his starts this year. And you know how much I valued that swinging strike percentage statistic? He's tied for 8th in baseball with Robbie Ray and Chris Archer.
Good company.
Good company for a guy that's 6,600 on DraftKings against a Mets team that struggles mightily at home versus lefties, like we mentioned earlier in the show.
4.88% home run per fly ball rate at home versus lefties.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this. On the flip, Zach Wheeler gets the A's, who love to strike out. Thoughts?
He's the same price as Shaun Minaya.
He's 63, so can you throw them at each other? I don't think it's a bad strategy.
I would rather play Shaun Minaya any day.
Okay, but you can play both on DraftKings.
We could, but
that's what I'm saying. I mean, they both
on a 13-game slate. I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
If you play them,
I can see the case.
You can stack Houston and Colorado, or Houston and Pittsburgh, or Houston and I don't know, Dodgers against Tehran. They're
Mm-hmm.
If you can find the pitching gems again tomorrow, and you get those stacks that go off, looking good, man. Again, I think tomorrow's going to be a day I fade the high price pitching. Already looking at it.
One concern I do have about Shaun Minaya is, we look at those stats at home versus lefties, but if you look at it a little bit further and look at the batted ball data, they have a 35% hard contact rate as a team, and that's 5th in baseball in that split category. So maybe they're getting a bit unlucky.
That's right.
But that is pretty much the only concern. I just feel like it's just way too cheap for the strikeout upside that he has in this matchup. I talked about his consistency over his starts, and he also has thrown over 95 pitches in every start in his last 10. So
yeah,
that also speaks to his consistency.
Facts. Texas, Tampa. Chris Archer at home. Tampa, pretty much the equivalent of super ass on the road right now.
In Texas?
Sorry, that's what I meant, Texas. Chris Archer at home is good Chris Archer. Ton of K upside here as well. If I'm paying up for pitcher tomorrow, this is the guy I want.
Yeah, I don't think I really agree with that. I mean, he's the third highest priced guy, 11-1. I pitched him last time he played Texas for the K upside. I know what they do on the road. They strike out a ton on the road, 26%. On the season, just second in baseball. And I just mentioned Archer's name and that swinging strike rate statistic, tied for 8. The issue, the concern I have, I mean, obviously he's a great pitcher, but you're comparing him with the other two guys, I think. The concern I have with him is he's only a 2-pitch pitcher. He's made a career out of it. He's fastball slider. He throws his changeup 6% of the time. And Texas is a very good hitting fastball team. So, if they can lay off the slider,
force him to throw the fastball.
Yeah, I could see it being a tough matchup for him. But at the same time, he's just such a GPP pitcher, man. He really is. He can go out there and strike out 10 guys, no problem. But he also has shown blow-up potential. So, that's the risk, I think, with him. I think it's definitely a plus matchup for strikeouts. But here it is, hit it type of deal. If his slider's not working.
See, that's my thing, right? So I'm comparing him to, let's look at some other guys, namely David Price against the Angels. Mm-hmm. I don't like that K upside at all. Chris Sale didn't even rack up strikeouts against them today. Like typical Chris Sale numbers. They're just not a team that.
He had 9 instead of
14,
20.
13, yeah. I mean, 9 is respectable, but David Price does not have Chris Sale strikeout potential, so I don't see the K upside there.
Yeah.
And then Rich Hill against Atlanta. Atlanta's won the first 2 games of the series. They just lit up Alex Wood, Brandon McCarthy. Mm-hmm. I just don't want to go there either. I see Chris Archer is having the highest upside. Now, obviously, risk as well, but, I'm all about risk-reward, and I think he's the highest rewarding pitcher on the slate.
Yeah, I think of the 3, he has the highest floor, highest ceiling. I can get on board with that.
I wouldn't say highest floor.
I mean, lowest floor, highest ceiling.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
I was gonna say that would incline a safe play, indicate a safe.
Yeah,
play.
No, he's definitely has the lowest floor, highest ceiling of the 3, in my opinion. And then Tampa against Art Cashner, our stance on that. If you watch the show, we don't really stack against him.
Nope, not doing it. All right, now this guy, man, Danny Salazar makes his return from the bullpen. We know the K upside, and Toronto has not been great this year away versus righties, or great at all in any situation.
Mm-hmm.
He's only 7,100 on DraftKings, 79 on FanDuel. He is very, very attainable. What are your thoughts?
He is.
Here?
Same deal with Archer, really, man. This guy can go out there and do a lot. I mean, he's definitely underpriced. I mean, this is a guy for most of the season this year and last year was upwards of 9-10K on DraftKings. They obviously moved him to the bullpen, and then he has been out since June 3rd with a shoulder injury. So he's made 4 rehab starts in the past 3 weeks. So this is, he's coming back from the injury. I imagine it's going to probably bump Bauer or Tomlin from the rotation.
I hope it's Tomlin. Bauer at least has some K upside.
But yeah, 7,100 is just really cheap. I don't know. I think I'd have to do some research to see what they plan on doing with him if there is a pitch count that limits his upside. But for that price, even I think a decent start can have some quality return. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not on this slate with how many games there are.
Yeah.
But
it's interesting.
I can see it.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
The one guy that worries
how bad
me,
Toronto's been. Yeah.
Justin Smoke is still 3,600 on FanDuel.
Yeah.
Exploit that price until he dies.
Goes up in smoke.
God damn it. I got that joke. I still don't understand your plane joke, but I got this one.
Yeah, that one didn't. I kind of failed at the delivery of that one.
You know what, though? Everyone else got it except me. Like, there were comments on that video saying that the joke was awesome, and I still don't understand it, but...
I think your reaction to the joke was the most awesome part. You're just pretty much like, no.
I just don't understand.
No.
Can you stack against Marcus Stroman tomorrow? I don't know that's my favorite place to go, but I'm definitely not pitching him.
Nah, I mean, we just talked about we don't want to stack against Cashner. It's for the same reasons, man. The guy limits hard contact, and he is a elite ground ball dude. He's like a specialist, man. I mean, Cleveland, like we saw what he did, but what happened today, but whatever his name, that pitched today, I can't. He doesn't matter anymore. He's like the exact opposite of Stroman. You know, he's like pitching to like a 45% fly ball rate. So totally different spot for Cleveland.
Agree. Kansas City, man, they are making that push, chasing that AL Central title. Just saying, man. And the good thing about Kansas City is, one, they never change their lineup, so it's very, very easy for me to guess it. And two, it's always the same fucking guys that go off. It's always Moustakas, Salvador Perez, Whit Merrifield, and Eric Hosmer. Sometimes Lorenzo Cain. Brandon Moss occasionally gets hot. But that's, if you're going to stack Kansas City, you stack the usual. They're still cheap on both sites, and if you want to pay up at pitcher tomorrow, I think they are another chalky stack tomorrow with Mike Pelfrey on the hill.
Pretty much insert exactly what we said yesterday into today's show, and then do it again tomorrow. Right. What are the White Sox chasing?
Yoan Moncada,
Dignity.
Oops, definitely not Todd Frazier. He's not there anymore.
I think the White Sox are chasing their own tail, pretty much.
Well, they're trying to get like every top 100 prospect in baseball in their farm system.
Yeah, they're trying to win the AAA title for the next 3 years. Yeah. Because that's worth nothing.
They have to,
except that they're in Charlotte. They have a really great ballpark.
What do they have now? 10 top 100 prospects?
Yeah, something like that. 9 or 10. I think we might see Ronaldo Lopez soon, to be honest with you. They got to start calling some of these pitchers up. They got him and who's the other guy? Giolito, I think.
Yeah. He was the Nationals guy. Yo, did you see the end of the game today? Guess who blew it for Chicago?
Clippard.
How'd that make you feel? Probably good.
I actually didn't watch it at all. I just kind of inferred from someone on Chicago blowing it.
Clippard doing what he does best,
I don't know.
man.
I think he needs to do something, man.
I'm sure that you were happy to not have it be on the Yankees.
Man, I'm kind of a Clippard fan, honestly, because he was on that Trenton team that I was with. But yeah, it's been a rough go since April.
It's been a rough go since he was on the A's when he was good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going right back here tomorrow, man. I'm stacking Colorado again. They disappointed for their standards today, but if you played Nolan Arenado, you still did good. Charlie Blackmon, I don't know if he scored double digits today, but before tonight has 13 or 11, one of the two, I counted, double-digit DraftKings point games in a row. Again, I don't know what he did tonight, but if he hit 10 again tonight, then there you go. Actually, no, he didn't. I think he had 4. So he broke his streak today. But Blackmon, Arenado, Gerardo Parra, I love it against Chad Kuhl tomorrow. Rockies, stay hot, at home, lock.
Yeah. Ah, man.
Oh, and
There's nothing. I don't.
and fuck Starling Marte. What did I say last night? I stacked the Pirates 3 days in a row, and they did nothing. And I was like, watch, Pirates are gonna go
We
off,
talked about it at least.
and
We
these
did.
motherfuckers, man, Starling Marte and Andrew McCutcheon, God,
Trust your gut.
and Josh Bell. I did play Francisco Cervelli. So in my turbo line, like I said, when I stacked this game, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stack it here. Unfortunately, I didn't stack Pittsburgh in the main, but I played McCutcheon, Bell, Cervelli, and Harrison, who all did well. But I faded Marte out of spite, and that was a bad decision.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing that all year, so I feel you on that one. But hopefully Colorado will live up to the standards today. I think there's probably like nothing worse in life than things not living up to the standards.
Nolan Arenado is, like 4 home runs in his last 2 games?
Something like that. Yeah, this team's pretty hot. I think you definitely go here against Cool in this ballpark. Obviously, they crush it at home. I mean, there's really nothing stopping you unless you're paying up for pitching.
Yeah. Washington, Arizona. They get Anthony Balda. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Tomorrow. And typically, I don't like... Banda, that's what it is. I hate playing against pitchers that are making their debut and or teams seeing them for the first time. But there is no upside to this guy. He had a 5.18 ERA and 17 starts in AAA. And now he's coming up and facing the Nationals.
Yep. Taiwan Walker continues to be up and down as far as the injury bug. Banda is their top prospect. He's a Baseball America number 88, so that's pretty bad. Lefty pitcher. I agree. I don't think you want to pitch him on this 13-game slate, but I don't know that you want to throw guys in there against him because, of what you said, of first time facing him. I mean, they had given him a run in the minors. He spent the full year there in AAA, so we'll see what he's got. I don't really have a great scouting report on him, to be honest with you, except that he was a top prospect, and they kind of gave him some extra run in the minors to see what he can do.
Yeah.
He does pitch in the PCL, too, so you have to consider stats with that.
True. Yeah, Walker's on paternity leave, I guess. Marcus just let us know.
Oh, really?
There you go. So, again, I don't think I stack Washington tomorrow, even in this park. It's just a personal rule of mine. I just hate stacking a team versus a pitcher they've never seen. If they go off, they go off, but I'll happily stack Houston and Colorado and hope that they match Washington's potential output. And then, go ahead.
I was going to say, you buying into this last start from Roark?
Man, I feel
that
like
he's righted the ship in Cincinnati?
That's what I was going to say. I feel like that regression had to come. Like, he's never been this bad. And so, positive regression was coming. There's no way I pitch him tomorrow if that's what you're asking. But do I stack against him? You can make the case for it, man. I still like Arizona at home. Arizona at home versus righties is their best split, hands down. And so, you can still make an Arizona stat case.
Looking into it a little bit more, I mean, he had a great start last time out, his first win in a while, but if you look at his last 3 starts, he's only given up a total of 12 hits. So maybe getting a bit unlucky with what was going on there. Ton of walks from him, though. That's been a big issue.
Yeah, you put... If Roark is the answer tomorrow, I don't know the question.
Yeah. Pretty much sums it up in a nutshell.
Oh, I love it. So, yeah, I'm still torn. Arizona's not my favorite stack, but I do like a stack there. They're just too good at home. Boston, LA. Talked about David Price, another pay-up option. I love his floor tomorrow. LA at home versus lefties is not good LA. God damn it, I forgot to update this.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, as far as offensively as a team, like if this wasn't DFS, we're talking about the guy who we think is most likely to go out and pitch a quality start. I think that's David Price tomorrow out of the top 3 guys. Yep. But you're playing DFS, so you need strikeouts, so that's limiting the upside here with LA, like we touched on earlier. But David Price is in a groove right now, pitching the best stretch in a while. Yeah. So.
No, he's come back from those first couple starts and absolutely righted the ship. So, I would say he's your cash pitcher tomorrow. I think he has the safest floor. I think he goes out. Obviously, like Mike said, I think he has a quality start, no doubt about it. LA, 229 average at home versus lefties, 105 ISO. So, granted, no power. 280 WOBA, no extra bases. 51.5% ground ball rate. You like that as a pitcher, especially one that has a tendency to allow fly balls. So, I agree. I think David Price is your safe pitcher, but I don't know that I play him in a GPP for the standpoint of K upside. Again, I think Chris Archer, risk reward. I think you look at him for that reward upside.
Just to touch on that recent stretch I just mentioned, 2 earned runs in his last 3 starts. That's 20 innings. I looked into what he's been doing as far as what kind of pitches he's been throwing, and I found out that he's actually pitching a career low 7% curveball usage and a 6-year low 14% changeup usage. He's pretty much strictly fastball cutter. In fact, in his last start, 96% of his pitches were fastball cutter to the Yankees. You look at what the Angels do as a team, they're one of the worst in baseball. Actually, the 3rd to last versus the cutter this season. So we talk about that being his strikeout pitch. I think that does increase his potential for strikeouts.
So who has the better cutter, David Price or Rivera?
Man, you see what I have to deal with, guys? I mean, I want you guys listening to just imagine being here in my position and having to try to answer that. So I'll let you guys answer that on your own.
Now, the other question you always get is Madison Bumgarner or Mariano Rivera. Madison Bumgarner has never blown a postseason save.
Really? I don't think I've ever got that question ever.
Mad Bum has never blown a postseason save. I'll just say that. Elite.
Neither have I, so.
Facts, but you've never pitched one either. Madison saved Game 7 of the World Series.
It did happen, yes.
Julio Teheran and Rich Hill tomorrow. I love a Dodgers stack. Teheran has actually been pitching really well as of late. Actually, you know what? I'm torn here. Dodgers are like my 3rd stack right now. I'm not rushing to stack them, but I like their spot. But I'm cautious because of how they've been playing. Atlanta seems to have their number right now. Now, that could take people off of Los Angeles, which could make them a low-owned stack. Because they've just got to the Dodgers the last 2 games. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm not rushing to stack them right now, but I'd like their spot against Teheran. We know that he can get blown up.
Yeah, I think so, too. I mean, he usually gets blown up at home. He's given up, a shitload of home runs at home this season. So I don't necessarily want to like him as much as a stack option on the road. But, yeah, he definitely is worthy.
The Dodgers are still the Dodgers.
Yeah. And just touch on Rich Hill, man. He's turned into an elite pitcher, a guy that's matchup proof. Since he's changed his pitch repertoire and added a cutter and started throwing his curveball less, he has a 36.7% K rate in 5 starts. In that time, that's number 5 in baseball, batting average against 170. So he's been damn near unhittable in the last 5 starts. And so I just don't, until that slows down, I think he's matchup proof and has extreme K upside.
I'm with you. And then New York and Seattle. I love Ariel Miranda tomorrow. Dude has been pitching well as of late. And the Yankees on the road versus lefties are doo-doo. They're like Mariano Rivera in Game 4 of the ALCS in 2004. So Ariel Miranda, for 5,500 tomorrow, I love it.
I do too. I think he's definitely the best option to pay down to, other than Shaun Minaya. 100%. I mean, this guy, you talk about home road splits, he's much better at home, and the Yankees are really bad on the road versus lefties. So couple that together, you're looking at a great play, in my opinion. Now, he actually hasn't really. He's given up 11 earned runs in his last 2 starts, and I think that's why his price is where it's at. Never been someone that's been priced high up anyway, but that's a lot of runs, I think, in 2 starts there. So I think it's cause for concern, but all the numbers kind of point to this being a pretty good spot.
One was Houston, though, right?
Yes, his last start was at Houston.
There you go.
And then the start before that was against Kansas City at home.
So 2 hot teams.
Mm-hmm. But the Yankees have been hitting the ball well on this road trip.
But
they hit the ball well tonight. But yeah, I think for this price, I think it's a good spot.
So check this out. If you play Minaya and Miranda on DK tomorrow, you can
do whatever you want.
Any bat you want.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want if you do that. So definitely worth noting. Again, you touched on the home road splits for Miranda. He's been very good at home, and again, the Yankees versus lefties on the road is not good. Ariel Miranda leads Major League Baseball in fly ball percentage. Does that concern you? 51% fly ball rate. Tops in baseball. He's actually in the top 10 in a good way in hard contact, though. So you talk about Max Scherzer, a lot of cans of corn. Yep. He's got a 220 career BABIP, which speaks to a lot of lazy fly balls. And that's what, a top hard contact and a top fly ball rate in a bad way would lead you to believe that he's got a lot of lazy fly balls. So it's interesting. It's an interesting way to pitch.
Absolutely. And again, with Miranda, inherent risk. He can go out and get you -10 easily tomorrow, or he can go out and get you 20 and far exceed, and he'll end up as the ace of the day for his value. So, the risk when you're pitching a guy like this. He's that price for a reason. But talk about exploiting price. I think he is better than the price listed. It's just a matter of if he pitches that way tomorrow.
And if you think about it, those numbers, like a low hard contact and a high fly ball rate, it makes sense why he is so much better in that ballpark than on the road. If that's his style of pitching. Exactly. So if that's his style of pitching, it makes total sense why he's playing well at home.
He almost hit one out of the fucking stadium.
Dude, that was a monster shot. And then they interviewed him after the game, and they're like, how does that happen? Like, can you hit the ball that hard? He's like, I just got lucky. The wind was blowing out today.
Steroids.
I was like, really? Really, dude? Yeah.
I'm joking.
No, I just feel like that response to that question it epitomizes who he is.
No, I know. That's the thing.
He pretty much insinuated that the only reason he hit the ball that hard was because the wind was blowing out.
People legitimately think he takes steroids too.
People anybody that hits the ball hard in baseball.
PEDs.
Yeah.
All of a sudden. Yep.
Yeah.
So. All right. So to recap, guys, we're on. Shaun Minaya is at least my #1 guy tomorrow for price. I'm talking value, not exactly total points. I look at value over points because I think I can make that up with bats. So Minaya, Miranda. I think Hellickson is a stream option. I love Chris Archer if you're paying up, and your safe floor would be David Price.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have Hill over Archer, but everything else I'm on board with.
Yep. And then stacks we're looking at, just stack the fucking Astros, please. I like the Rockies as my #2 stack. I like the Marlins. I like Kansas City. And if I had to go as a 5th one, Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. The only other one I was looking at was Minnesota.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I like all that too.
Could be a good
If I had to
thing.
rank them, I'd probably go Houston, Kansas City, Colorado as a top 3.
Cool. I got Houston, Colorado, Los Angeles. But that could change the more I look at Tehran. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, again, appreciate you guys as a whole, man. Again, I didn't win money today
Oh
without
yeah.
you guys. Like, literally, like I said, Marcus putting me on not taking Irvin Santana won me a GPP. And then Galen putting me on Mike Fiers helped me win all of my 3-man contests and cash in my GPP. So without the community, I legit don't cash today. So shout out to you guys on a day where I didn't have any time to research because I was just knocking down walls and shit, which was a lot of fun. But appreciate it as always. I'm going to run with the line I made tonight and hope it works tomorrow, granted that the lineups work, or the lineups are what I expect. And then, yeah, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that there's a chat room that's popping off without people having fun and winning money, right?
Thanks.
It's just a testament, you know. The thing would be dead. No one would be in there. No one would want to be in there if people weren't having fun and winning money. So that's what it's really all about, man. People coming in there, wanting to contribute, seeing what people are on, maybe not even participating, but like you said, going in there and reading and kind of recognizing the people that are in there winning money and following their plays and their research and their process. And it's all one big learning curve, and it's a lot of fun. I strongly suggest you check it out.
Yeah, I love it, man. And it's also great comedic relief if you have a loss
That's
on
true.
the night. There's always some fun chat going on at the end of the night when games are over.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. Friendly competition with our free rolls, obviously. Um, so yeah, definitely get in there and check it out.
yes, sir. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you again and have a wonderful night. Ooh, make it a profitable Saturday and look forward to seeing some more winning lines.
Yep. Check back with us tomorrow, guys. Have some fun.
Yes, sir.